All right, y'all. So I think you all have basically graduated from basic sketching. So I'm actually just going to quickly tuck that away into one folder. We've mastered all of that. So we're actually gonna move on to extruding things today. So what we're actually gonna do is I'm just gonna create a really quick sketch real quick of something I want to extrude. So let's make it simple. Let's just make it a rectangle of whatever dimension. But we're going to use the extrude tool today. So the keybind is Shift E. So let's do exactly that. And whoa, a whole new panel just showed up. What do I do? So right now it's asking for faces and sketch regions to include. So there's a few ways we can go about this. We can select right in our workspace right here on this little rectangle we made, or we can just select the entire sketch itself. And depending on what you want to do, these will sometimes will do like totally different things. So for example, let's add another rectangle off here. And let's do our extrude again. This time, look what happens when I just click the rectangle. It will only select the rectangle. If I want to do this one too, I just have to select the other rectangle as well. But I can do this all in one step if I just select the sketch right here. So I can do two at once. But look here, there's some panels here. By the way, we're not going to go into surface or thin ever. Don't worry about those. Make sure you're always sticking on solid. We have some other panels here. We got new, add, remove, and intersect. When it's your first time making an object, just stick to new. And here, we have two little boxes here. But actually, I want to make it, I don't want it to be 1 inch. I want it to be 2 inches. Okay, perfect. So we got 2-inch tall cubes here. Let's create another scenario here. I'm just going to make this a little higher. All right, so what it looks like we got a little Walmart in the house here or something. I don't know. But we have two little 2-inch tall, well, this almost looks like a cube. We have two-inch tall rectangular prisms here. This time I'm going to make another extrude actually. And I'm actually going to extrude from this face. So I'm making this face longer. Before we were just doing a blind extrude, so it doesn't really know where it's going besides the fact that it's going 1 inch in depth. But you can actually change this drop down to up to next, up to face, up to part, and through all. So through all will go through like basically everything. But you usually don't need to use that one. Up to next, Loki, I don't know. But don't worry about that. Up to face is what I like to use a lot. So it's going to ask you for a face to use. So let's use this one right here. It's going to create a new extrude up to that face of the cube. What does add do? So here we have an error right here because it doesn't know what it's adding with. You might think that might be clear. Oh, I clearly want to add from the face that I just sketched from. But no, we actually have to select. So we have the merge scope here. So it's already highlighted, and we just click on the object we want to use. And if you notice down here, we have the two parts here. So we can actually select from here if we like, or we can just select directly onto here. I'm just going to select from here. And it'll actually merge with this cube here. What if I want these two? So here's what we have. We have two different cubes still, but this one's just up to the face of here, so they're both kind of flush per se. What if I wanted these two rectangular prisms to just combine? We would actually do merge. So there's two things you could do. You could either add this cube into the merge scope. That'll make it into one part instead of two. And you have this little funky little prism here. Or you can go back in here and you can merge with all. And that might be useful when there's a lot of different parts and you just want to make everyone combine. But yeah, that's a basic like little introduction to extrudes. But let's look into remove also. That's also helpful. So let's say, I'm gonna make a sketch on top of here. Actually, let's see if I can use the little make thing. Perfect. So I created a sketch on top of here, and let's say I just want to make a hole, like a few holes right here. Okay. This might be a good opportunity to use the circular pattern or linear pattern tool if you wanted to make the holes, or the point tool if you'd like. But we have our sketches here. These are the holes I want to cut out. Kind of like we want to Swiss cheese this thing. Okay, so we're going to go back, Shift E, we're going to extrude, but this time we want to remove. And the sketch regions we want to extrude are these holes or circles we created. And right now it's just blind. It just goes down 1 inch. That's okay, but I want it to go all the way through. So we're going to do up to face, and we're going to do the bottom face here. And we just Swiss cheesed this entire thing. So, I mean, we got this pretty odd shape here, but I bet you can already start to imagine how the extrude tool can be very helpful in the design process. But that's a pretty comprehensive introduction to the extrude tool, but we'll get into it much more later.